Hey guys, so today I'll be sharing with you my August wrap-up and September TBR. I know I usually post my wrap-up on the last day of the month and my TBR separately on the first of the month, but I only read 3 books in August. I know, I had a really bad month in August, both with reading and in my personal life and my mental health. So very excited to see August go, which I know is against the general opinion because it is the end of summer. But for me, I'm looking forward to the fresh start. And my birthday is in September and all of the new releases coming out, which I will talk about in the TBR portion. But for now, let's get to the 3 books that I read and the one that I DNF'd in August. I was gonna say October, in August. The first book that I finished in August was The Candy Makers by Wendy Mass. This is a middle grade duology about 4 young kids that are welcomed into this candy making contest. So they go to a candy making factory and they get to use all of these different ingredients and learn all these different methods, and it was really cute. So the characters were very unique and I ended up giving this story 4.5 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. Yeah, it was just so Willy Wonka, but had some mystery and stuff into it, which I really liked and really appreciated. So like I said, it is a duology and I plan to continue it very soon. Then the only book that I read off of my summer TBR was Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I have had this book kicking around on my shelf for years and years, so I was very excited to finally pick it up. As many of you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Rainbow Rowell, and this one was just okay for me. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. If you don't know what it's about, we follow 2 women that work in a newspaper publishing company and they communicate mostly through emails. Well, that's how we read their communication. And then we also follow a guy named Lincoln who reads the emails. He was hired by the company to surveillance and make sure nobody is doing anything against policy because it's set like in the late 90s. So email is still new and it's all exciting and they only want it used for work things. So yeah, it is an adult contemporary. I'm sure you can imagine where the story goes. It wasn't mind-blowing, it was very predictable. And like I said, love-hate relationship, so this one was just okay. I think I'm going to take a break from her books. I don't think she's an author for me, but if you want to read my whole review about this book, I did post one on my blog, so I'll link that down below. So then I tried to read Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I'd heard really good things about this one. It is an adult fiction, I guess, but could also be contemporary, but not really. It is about a Chinese American family whose 16-year-old daughter dies. We learned that from the very beginning, like the first line of the book, so that's not a spoiler. And then I thought we would kind of follow the murder, but then instead we just follow like the family's backstory. So again, this is set like in the 1970s, so there is a lot of like racial things going on and like immigration things going on. I only got about 100 pages in, like 5 chapters, and I had to DNF it. I tried actually reading it, I tried listening to it as an audiobook, and I just could not get invested in this story or in these characters. So it was very just meh for me, which is unfortunate because Goodreads has nothing but good things to say about it, so unfortunately it just wasn't for me. And then the last book that I read this month was one that I received from NetGalley in order to review, and that is The Switch by A.W. Hill and Nathaniel Hill. This is a young adult sci-fi about 4 teens that can travel different worlds and alternate universes. So this book I did genuinely enjoy. Not one of my favorites, I'll be straight up honest about that. I give it about 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a little slow going for me, but the plot was very unique. However, the characters were not. So that was my biggest downfall about the book, is I feel like something like this should have been mostly character driven, just because they're traveling different worlds and different universes where they exist. So they didn't really grow and they didn't really adapt. They were just very single-minded. So it is what it is. I did genuinely enjoy it, like I said. And again, I posted a full review on my blog, so I'll link that down below. If you're interested in kind of like time travel-y sci-fi stuff, I would recommend checking it out. It was pretty good, but check out my full review for details. I am currently reading 2 books, so I will use these as my transition into my September TBR because they are books that I want to finish in the month. So first, still, I am reading City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I know I said it was going to be the last time I mentioned it in a TBR, but I am about halfway through, a little bit more than that, so I feel like it doesn't really count. I did put it down for a little bit, but I'm trying to get back into it. So hopefully I can finish it soon, even by the end of this weekend. I know once I get back into it, I'll be right sucked in. So I don't know. It's a long weekend in Canada and I just happen to have it off. So hopefully I can get a lot of reading done and get out of my little slump. But to try and get out of my slump, I picked up Dancing with Molly by Lena Horowitz. This is a young adult, kind of contemporary, realistic fiction about a 16-year-old girl who tries ecstasy for the first time. And that's about all I'm at. I'm only 25 pages in, but I think it's going to spiral from there. It gives me strong, like, Ellen Hopkins vibes. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's very short and I should have it finished super soon. So looking forward to reading this and hopefully I enjoy it. So like I said, there are some new releases coming out in September that I want to read. The one that I'm anticipating the most is There Is Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This one comes out I think towards the end of September, but is one that I'll be purchasing and reading, as well as The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken, who wrote The Darkest Minds, which is one of my favorite series. So this one is a middle grade one, so I think it'll be a very quick read. And then I also want to get Release by Patrick Ness, and They Both Die at the End, I think by Adam Silvera. I think that's who that one's by. Don't quote me on that. Those are the 4 books coming out in September that I will definitely be buying and definitely be reading. So I'm looking forward to those. I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to read this month, but my friend Geraldine convinced me to try the Try chapter or read the first chapter in a couple books. It is a tag on BookTube and I've watched a couple videos of it and I really like it. You pick 5 books off your shelf and read the first chapter of it and decide which one to read next. So if you want to see me do that as a video, make sure you let me know because it sounds like something I'd be interested in doing and I really like the idea of it. So I have picked out 4 books that I really want to get to in September for various reasons. But the first 2 are for a year-a-thon, which starts on Monday, September 4th, and will go until that following Sunday. We start at midnight at whatever time zone that you're in. As always, we're pretty lenient on rules. So this theme is standalones, which is so exciting because I own so many. And then the accompanying challenge with that is one-word titles. So I've been doing really bad at partaking in the challenge part, so I'm gonna try. I picked up 2 books, technically a third, but I don't think I'll read that in the week. So the first one that I want to read is Shooter by Caroline Pignat. This is about 5 grade 12 students that are trapped in a bathroom during a school shooting. So I think it's going to be really interesting. If you know me, you know I love like true crime and school shooting, things like that. So I'm really excited to read this one. It is a standalone and it has a one-word title, as does Confess by Colleen Hoover. I wanted to read one of her books in the summer just because it was light and contemporary, but I didn't get to any of them. So I figured I'd pick this one up. It sounds like the most intriguing to me. It is about art. So, I don't know. Contemporary, standalone, one-word title. I might do really well at this year-a-thon theme. I picked this up at Costco the other day because I'd really been wanting to read it, so you'll see it in my September book haul, but I grabbed It by Stephen King. Yes, it is a standalone, and yes, it has a one-word title, but I do not think I will be able to read it during the year-a-thon week. I want to read most, if not all of it, before I go to see the movie, because I love horror things. I saw Annabelle the other week, and I really liked it, but this one is over 1,100 pages, so I think I might just divide it up for myself into different parts and different sections so that I'm not so overwhelmed. I have never read this. I did watch the original movie adaptation, and I did not like it. So I would like to go into the original story and see how the other adaptations compare. So yeah, very looking forward to this, and I'm so glad I got this cover. I'm obsessed with it. And then the last book that I have on my TBR for September is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I have owned this book since December of 2012. It is now September of 2017. 4 years I think is long enough to have this book sitting on my shelf. It is a series that I'm talking about all the time that I want to read and I want to get into. So I think the 4th book and the companion one is coming out within the next couple of months. So I would like to read this, see what all of the hype is about, and hopefully I enjoy it. It seems like something I will. It's like a young adult mystery. I don't know. Hopefully I can just start it and really enjoy it. So if you've read any of the books that I've talked about, make sure you let me know down below what you thought of them. If there's any books on my TBR that you would like to see a review of, make sure you let me know. And yeah, I'm starting to get all tongue-tied, so I think I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!